immediately on item 3. As a reminder, your time will start when you begin speaking. You will see a visual timer on the podium and receive a 30-second audible warning before your time concludes. And you will have 2 minutes for your public comment, and your time will start when you begin speaking. Thanks.
Hi, Commissioners. My name is Camilla Baum of Docomomo NOCA. So that's Documentation and Conservation of the Modern Movement, Northern California chapter. I've met some of you before, and this is general comment in regards to the land acknowledgement. I wanted to read a letter from Robert Free of the Nehua Tewa tribe. I want to say that after your land acknowledgement, that actions are louder than words. I say this for all to remember and learn that Armand Vaillancourt recognized early on the plights confronting indigenous peoples. He recognized the struggle re-emerging on the doorsteps of San Francisco during the occupation of Alcatraz Island, and for historical purposes, that was from 1969 to June 1971. Armand Vaillancourt decided to be part of this movement and in the correction of the efforts to reclaim self-determination by indigenous peoples. He did so more in kind politically than words alone, but by the action of offering to share his warehouse studio with indigenous peoples, which was at 575 Folsom Street in San Francisco. It says here, we were able to secure the space to source supplies and meet to do the logistics to strategize on the re-emerging efforts of self-determination and land recoveries across the country. From this shared space, we gathered and planned and coordinated reclaiming the occupation of lands as the Pit River tribes as an example. We further used the space to produce media communications in the form of newsletters and magazines. It is where many indigenous peoples, such as the Mohawk Richard Oakes leader and deep spiritual and political wisdom, shared and organized many indigenous occupations. Please keep in mind the contributions of Mr. Vaillancourt. Thank you.
Welcome, and your 2 minutes will start when you begin speaking.
Good afternoon. My name is Connor Turnbull, and I am speaking on behalf of the Cultural Landscape Foundation, a Washington, D.C.-based education and advocacy nonprofit established in 1998. I am a member of the Stewardship Council. The foundation has long been an advocate for modernist landscape architecture, especially the works of San Francisco's Lawrence Halprin, and site-specific public art in the landscape, including the Vaillancourt Fountain and Embarcadero Plaza. The Foundation's president and CEO, Charles Birnbaum, served as the coordinator of the National Park Service's Historic Landscape Initiative for 15 years, where he developed national policies that put forth best practices for the treatment and management of significant cultural landscapes. Earlier this year, the Foundation created a public art advocacy fund specifically to advocate for works that are threatened, especially in cases where museums, cultural institutions, and arts commissions that own the artworks are themselves the source of the threat. The stewardship of the Vaillancourt Fountain is the responsibility of the Arts Commission, but has been outsourced to Rec and Park and BXP. Rec and Park claims that the fountain has historically required near daily maintenance, costing over $100,000 annually, and additional support activities, which reflect tens of thousands of cumulative labor hours. And this was repeated in the letter from August 18, 2025, to this body. The Foundation FOIA'd Rec and Park for documents to support their claim and found out that they had inflated the average annual budget by 250%, and that tens of thousands of cumulative labor hours is actually 1,578. I have no time. Even if these numbers are to be taken with a grain of salt, as Rec and Park director, they vastly exceed a rounding error. To protect the integrity of this commission's decision-making process, Rec and Park's estimates should be audited by a neutral third party. Thank you.
Thank you. Time will begin once you start speaking.
Hi, my name is Ted Barrow. I'm also a member of Docomomo, and I'm so grateful that Camilla Baum spelled out what Docomomo means to all of y'all, so I don't waste any more time. I'm also speaking in favor of at least stalling and the decision to de-accession and demolish the Vaillancourt Fountain. I, in addition to being a board member, am a lifelong skateboarder who basically worshipped at the altar of San Francisco skateboarding, and that fountain and its surrounding plaza were a touchstone for me. So I want to advocate for this as a work of art whose meaning has changed over time and whose meaning was certainly not tied to its original context, being adjacent to the freeway. I see it as much more of a part with the groups of monumental sculpture that thread through the Embarcadero Center, including Louise Nevelson, Charles Perry, ending down at the Embarcadero with Armand Vaillancourt's fountain. I've made a lot of glib comparisons to what this spot means to skateboarders and non-skateboarders alike. It's our Rome, it's our Athens. I kind of think about this fountain as our Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty, of course, was given to the United States by France to commemorate the end of slavery at the end of the Civil War. The statue, not many people know this, stands on broken chains. I think about this fountain as serving a similar purpose. It certainly did relate to the freeway at one point, but it has evolved and been appreciated by millions of people since the freeway went down. I'm excited about any new plans and interest in the Embarcadero waterfront, and I think that this priceless, unique, challenging, and dynamic work of art, which really does reflect the progressive spirit of the city, has historically and will continue to do so, should be part of these plans of remodeling this plaza. Thank you.
Thank you. And just want to remind, any comments for Vaillancourt fountain should be held off till item 7. Is there any additional public comment? Seeing none, public comment.